See, before enter into this electrode discharge coating, basically it is an electrode discharge machining process. So first, let us discuss about what is traditional machining. Traditional machining is mostly used to remove the unwanted material from the parent material to get the desired shape in the form of chips due to the friction between workpiece and tool. Nowadays, the novel materials are exist, composite materials, high strength materials, but the hardness of the metal is higher, so that we cannot go for traditional machining and remove the unwanted material. So that we go for non-traditional machining. Non-traditional machining does not provide any thermal stresses or any surface damage. See, non-traditional machining, it can be classified according to the source of energy. We have mechanical, thermal, chemical, and electrochemical. See, in the mechanical, erosion of the workpiece material by high velocity stream of abrasive or fluids. See, ultrasonic machining, abrasive jet machining comes under this category. And thermal energy, the thermal energy is supplied at a very small portion of the at very small quantity, so that the workpiece surfaces get melted and vaporized due to the conversion of electrical energy into thermal energy, which is the EDM, electrode discharge machining, laser beam machining, electron beam machining. These are comes under this category. And the electrochemical machining, electrochemical reaction, that is a reverse of electroplating. That is, the material is removed in the form of atom by atom, which is called electrochemical machining, which is comes under this electrochemical category. Chemical machining, if you want to remove some portions of the material on the surface of the material, we have to mask it, and that material to be machined is exposed to the atmosphere, which is kept inside the acids. Then the acids remove the material in the form of chip by, that is atom by atom, which is called chemical. That is called chemical machining is comes under this chemical machining. Next, electrode discharge machining. Electrode discharge machining, all of you, I hope that all of you are aware that electrode discharge machining is one of electrode discharge machining. So process, the formation of recast layer in the zone just below the machined surface are the common occurrences. See, the formation of recast layer on the surface of the workpiece is considered to be a potential opportunity for the researchers to deposit a layer of the desired materials. You might have seen that during the electrode discharge machining, after completing the machining process, you might cut and seen through the microstructure. You might have seen a heat affected zone or recast layer. The recast layer, if you check this recast layer using a EDS in the electrode discharge EDS element analysis, you might have find that the layer consists of tool material, workpiece material, and carbon. Carbon is deposited due to the dielectric cracking. The carbon is generated. That carbon is also deposited along with that parent material as well as the tool material. So the tool material, if copper is used, the copper is deposited on that recast layer. If brass is used, brass is also deposited along the recast layer along with the carbon and the parent material. So the researchers has an opportunity to deposit and desired material of high hardness on the surface of the workpiece by changing the surface property of the workpiece, that is the wear resistance and corrosion resistance. So the lightweight materials are nowadays being used in the aerospace and automotive application in order to achieve the better energy efficiency to reduce the weight of the component. However, it cannot withstand wear. under high load, especially in the sliding contact or moving of parts. If high load is applied, if the two parts gets mated and sliding between one another easily, wear resistance is very less. To overcome this problem, the surface modification is required. So many surface modification process are used, that is PVD, CVD. We have to classify this. Why we go for surface modification or surface coating? The surface coating or surface modification is used to enhance the surface properties, corrosion resistance, hardness, heat resistance, wear resistance, without changing the original characteristics of the base material. There are several methods for obtaining different types of surface coatings, which may be classified as thick coating and thin coating. The thin coating, under the thin coating, we have physical vapor deposition, chemical vapor deposition, electrochemical deposition, ion implantation, electroless plating, so that you have to get 0.002 mm to 0.004 mm of thickness. That is called thin coating. Thick coating, plasma coating, thermal spraying, laser grading, electro deposition, which we have to obtain 0.076 to 0.25 mm of coating thickness, which is called thick coating. See, the above said coating process needs a sophistication machine which incurred higher cost, and the process is also complicated. So the novel technique is developed is called electro discharge coating, which we have to machine or we have to coat the material with less cost with the use of existing EDM machine to improve the surface properties or to improve or enhance the surface properties. Electro discharge coating is basically an EDM process. In EDM, the anode is connected to positive, that is the workpiece is connected to positive, which is called anode, and the tool material is connected to negative, which is called cathode. So the current is supplied in between these two. The negative ions are attracted by the anode and the positive ions are attracted by the cathode. So more number of material is melted, workpiece is melted, because more positive ions are melted. So in the EDC process, the process is carried out, the reverse polarity is known as electro discharge coating. Here the workpiece is connected to anode and the tool material is connected to workpiece is connected to negative and the tool material is connected to positive. And the tool powder metallurgy tool is used as an electrode. Instead of solid electrode, powder metallurgy electrodes are used as electrodes. That is the desired material. If you want to coat a tungsten carbide, if you want to coat a titanium diboride, let us take a titanium boride as the electrode or tungsten carbide as an electrode. It depends upon our choice. So during the process, the material from the tool electrode transferred and deposited on the surface as an hard layer. It can be used to enhance the tribological properties such as micro hardness, wear resistance, corrosion resistance without any physical change in the workpiece material. See, this is a schematic diagram of EDC. See here, the workpiece is connected to negative and the tool is connected, that is the powder metallurgical tool is connected to positive, and there is a power supply is given in between these two. The workpiece attracted more anions, that is positive ions, and the tool is attracted the cations, that is negative ions, and the more amount of material is disintegrated from the tool material, that is an electrode, and deposited on the surface of the workpiece. This is a schematic diagram of the electro discharge coating. Advantages of electro discharge coating: it is less expensive because there is no need of sophisticated equipment, no need a special equipment to control the coating thickness. Hard coating can be easily created on the workpiece by using the existing EDM machine. The coating can be created in different zone of workpiece with the different areas, and the coating speed is also very fast. Application: the EDC can be used in the roll structuring, moving to hardness and the performance. EDC can be used in various industrial applications like tool, die, and mold manufacturing industries to improve the wear, corrosion, and oxidation resistance of parts. It can be used to enhance the wear resistance of the lightweight alloys used in the aerospace and automobile industries. Let us consider a magnesium alloy. The case study, we have to select a magnesium alloy as a lightweight material and coat that material with the help of tungsten carbide using the electrode discharge coating. Why we have to go for magnesium alloy? Nowadays, magnesium alloys are being attracted by the automobile and aerospace industries because of its lightweight compared to aluminum. But the load carrying capacity of this material or the wear resistance of the material is very less, so that we go for electrode discharge coating. The magnesium is a silvery white material that is mainly used as an alloy constituent for aluminum, lead, zinc and other non-ferrous alloys, and it tremendous valuable of structural materials in automobile aerospace industries due to its lightweight to high strength ratio, low density, good machinability, good damping capacity and ductility when compared with other materials and alloys. Advantages of magnesium alloy: the lightweight and low density, high specific strength, good castability, suitable for high pressure die casting, good machinability, high thermal conductivity, high dimensional stability, higher vibration absorption. Application of magnesium alloy: cylinder head cover, engine intake manifold, motorcycle wheels, helicopter gearboxes, key lock housing, steering wheel. The material selected for this research is base material ZE41A magnesium alloy. Z is nothing but zinc and E is a rare earth material, that is 4% Z, zinc and 1% rare earth material, and the remaining is magnesium and aluminum. The electrode material which has been chosen as tungsten carbide and copper. Copper is used to mix with the tungsten carbide powder to conduct the electricity. So, the plate, the magnesium plate of 170 mm length, 50 mm width and 5 mm thick has to be taken for the electrode discharge coating. The properties of ZE41A magnesium alloy is a density of 1.9 gram per centimeter cube, melting point of 530 to 650 degrees Celsius, specific heat 970, thermal conductivity 24, coefficient of thermal expansion 15.1. And the properties of tungsten carbide and copper powder. The copper density is 8.97, the melting point 1082 degrees Celsius, specific heat 385, thermal conductivity 393, coefficient of thermal expansion 16.5 and a particle size of 4 microns. Similarly, the tungsten carbide, the density of tungsten carbide 19.29, melting point is 2870 degrees, specific heat 138 joule per kilogram Kelvin, thermal conductivity 110 watt per meter Kelvin, coefficient of thermal expansion 5.5 μm by meter degree Celsius, and the particle size is 4 micron. The experimental planning and procedure: electrodes were prepared by powder metallurgical method of the combinations of 50-50%, that is a tungsten carbide 50%, copper 50%, of semi-sintered and sintered. Two type of electrodes were used, semi-sintered and sintered. We have to compare both the tools to evaluate the hard layer, the deposit layer, characteristics of the deposit layer, how much the amount of material, quantity of material is deposited using semi-sintered and sintered. What are all the mechanisms? We have to evaluate that. And EDC experiments are conducted using prepared various electrodes, and wear tests are conducted. That is, a wear resistance of the coated specimen was conducted by obtaining the optimized parameters. See, the figure shows the cylindrical die which is used for preparing the powder metallurgical electrode, and this is a 150-ton hydraulic press which is available in the Department of Manufacturing in Annamalai University, which we have to prepare the green compact, that is 50% of tungsten carbide and 50% of copper powders were mixed in the double cone mixture to get the proper mixing, and then the double cone mixture parameter is 300 rpm. the double cone mixer rotate at 300 RPM to get the proper mixture. Finally, the time taken for this double cone mixer is 30 minutes, which is taken from the literature. That is 300 RPM and 30 minutes is taken from the literature to get the proper mixing. And finally, we have to compress the powders inside the cylindrical die with the help of this 150-ton hydraulic press. Various pressure has been selected, and then we have to study what are all the properties of various pressures to evaluate the coating characteristics of the various pressures. And the powder metallurgical electrodes were prepared, that is, the green compact electrodes were prepared using this 150-ton hydraulic press. Then sintering is carried out in the tubular furnace with the argon atmosphere, and the sintering time is given for 20 minutes. Why we have to use argon gas? Without argon gas, the atmospheric air is inside the furnace, which contaminate the green compact. But whereas if you use argon gas, it evacuates the atmospheric pressure, atmospheric air, and the environment is get inert, so that we can obtain a proper sintered and semi-sintered product. The sintering temperature is, for semi-sintered, it is around 600 degrees Celsius. For semi-sintering, we have to go for 600 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes sintering time. And for sintering, we have to go for 900 degrees Celsius for sintering, 20 minutes for full sintering. So, the 50-50 combination of tungsten carbide and copper, semi-sintered, you have to keep the temperature of 600 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes, and sintered, you have to keep the component inside the furnace at 900 degrees Celsius. This is an electrode discharge machining setup. In this electrode discharge machining setup, which is available in the material non-traditional machining lab in the Department of Manufacturing Engineering, Annamalai University, we have to conduct the experiments. See, this is the parameters which we have to chosen. So, various parameters, electrode discharge parameters are available: current, pulse on time, pulse off time, flushing pressure. But the current and pulse on time is suitable for electrode discharge coating. That's why we have to opt for this. And the compaction load is also considered for the electrode coating parameters, that is surface modification parameters. The surface modification parameter is compaction load, current, pulse on time. The three parameters, three levels, that is a compaction load of 150, 175, 200. You have to, three various compaction loads are used to compact the specimen to evaluate the coating characteristics. Similarly, we have to use three levels of current: 2 amps, 3 amps, and 4 amps, and the pulse on time of 50 microsecond, 70 microsecond, and 90 microseconds. So, three parameter, three levels, 20 experiments are conducted according to the central composite face-centered design. And the experiments were conducted. Finally, we get the copper, tungsten carbide, copper coated workpiece. So, the workpiece were cut into rectangular shape for the to study the characteristics, surface characteristics, how much element is deposited on the workpiece surface, what are all the elements deposited on the surface, what is the quantity of the element deposited on the surface, and the morphology, surface morphology of the workpiece. See, this shows, the second figure shows the deposited tungsten carbide copper deposited on the workpiece. That is a macro graph of tungsten carbide copper deposited on the workpiece. See, the graph shows the EDS characteristics on tungsten carbide 50% and copper 50% semi-sintered composite. You might have seen that compaction load and current. The surface plot shows compaction load and current with the MTR, with the effect of MTR. How much the material transfer rate, how much material is transferred on the surface of the material using compaction load and the current. The compaction load, the low compaction load, the material deposition is higher. But in case of higher compaction load, the material deposition is lower. Why? Because the lower compaction load, the bonding between the material, that is the copper as well as the tungsten carbide, is very less. So it dislodged freely and deposited on the workpiece. And low current, the amount of electrical energy conducted in the machining zone is very less, so that which cause deposition of the electrode due to erosion of the, instead of deposition, there is an which causes the deposition of the electrode. But if you increase the current value, more amount of energy supplied in between the interelectrode gap, so the material is get melted and vaporized. There is no material deposition. Conversely, there is a material erosion takes place. Lower current, material deposition takes place. Higher current, material erosion takes place. That is, a material removal takes place. See the surface morphology of this low compaction load. The bulk mass deposition takes place. Bulk mass means at low compaction load, that is, the compaction is very less, that is 150 megapascal. The particles are loosely bonded and easily disintegrated from the tool material, and it deposited on the non-uniformly deposited. It deposited as a bulky. And the EDS analysis shows that the elemental analysis, that is, EDS means electrodispersive spectroscopy, that which is shown in the figure, that all the elements are present, that is magnesium, aluminum, nickel, copper, zinc, which is the parent material, which shows the parent material melting and also redeposited on the surface. And the tungsten and the copper is the tool materials deposited on the surface along with the parent material. So the copper weight percentage of the copper is 0.44 and weight percentage of tungsten is 0.34. So more amount of tungsten is deposited and the surface property. See, the second figure shows that the metal transfer rate, the effect of metal transfer rate on current and pulse on time. The current value increases from higher to lower. See, lower to higher, from 2 to 3, the material deposition is increases. Due to lower current, the material is dislodged. Already, as I told in the previous graph. Similarly, 2 to 3, the material deposition is increases, and then 3 to 4, it decrease. It declined, because the 3 to 4, more amount of energy is supplied in between the interelectrode gap, and it melts and evaporates the material, more amount of material. So conversely, the erosion takes place. Similarly, the pulse on time, the lower pulse on time, the material erosion takes place. But whereas in the higher pulse on time means current is supplied at a longer time. Current supplied time is pulse on time. So if enlarge the current supply time, increasing the current supply time, that is a pulse on time, the plasma channel get enlarged, and then more amount of material is disintegrated from the material and it is deposited on the surface. See, the figure shows the same morphology of this. Higher pulse on time shows the uniform deposition with sized spherical particle deposited on the surface at high pulse on time. At higher pulse on time, the material is, more amount of material is melted, and again it deposited on the uniform spherical size of particles deposited on the surface. The surface roughness. The effect of compaction load current on surface roughness. The surface roughness increases with the compaction load. Why? Because at lower compaction load, the surface roughness is very less. The surface roughness is uniform, because the more amount of molecular bonding, that is, a more amount of material is disintegrated and it is deposited on the surface uniformly. But whereas in the case of higher compaction load, the bonding between the material is very higher, so that some non-uniformly the material is deposited on the surface. at the higher compaction load. So random deposition takes place.
சார் உங்க வாய்ஸ் மீட் ஆயிருக்கு சார். சார் சார் உங்க வாய்ஸ் அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க சார். ஹலோ சார் உங்க வாய்ஸ் மியூட் ஆயிருக்கு சார். ஹலோ சார். ஹலோ சார். சார் ஹலோ சார். ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார். இன்னும் வாய்ஸ் கிளியரா கேட்கல சார்.
The lump deposition voids at high current, more amount of material is deposited, vaporized and melted, the gas bubbles are formed. The gas bubbles are evacuated from the surface of the workpiece so that the voids are formed. It generates the voids. The gas bubble generates the voids. The gas bubbles deposited generates the voids. It determines the void size. The higher current determines the void size. Higher the current, more the voids, and the size of the voids is also higher. And the EDC characteristics on 50% tungsten carbide copper sintered electrode, the effect of compaction load and current on metal transfer rate. At lower compaction loads, similar to semi-sintered, at lower compaction load, the metal transfer rate is higher, but in the higher compaction load, the metal transfer rate is negative. That is called metal removal takes place. Conversely, instead of metal transfer, at higher compaction load, material removal takes place because it resembles like a solid metal. Similarly, in the case of current, the higher the current, the lower the current, material deposition takes place, but higher current, the material removal takes place. See, when low current setting 2 to 3 amps, the quantity of electrode materials migrated on the workpiece surface is low due to heat energy is conducting in the machining zone is poor, so that more amount of material is disintegrated on the tool material and deposited on the surface. If higher current is used, the removal takes place instead of deposition. See, the bulk mass deposition at low compaction load, we have already seen in the semi-sintered one. And the deposition, the EDC analysis shows that parent material as well as the tool material is deposited on the surface. See that aluminum, magnesium, zinc, nickel, ferrous, manganese, all are present, all are in the parent material. The copper, which is deposited on the surface of the workpiece due to dielectric cracking, and in addition along with the copper and tungsten carbide is deposited. See here, the tungsten carbide deposit is 0.29 compared to semi-sintered. The sintered has very less amount of tungsten is deposited, because at semi-sintered more amount of energy tungsten carbide is deposited on the surface, whereas in the case of sintered very less amount of tungsten is deposited because it resembles like a solid tool. The bonding between the tool is very high, but whereas in the case of semi-sintered, the bonding between the copper and tungsten is very less, so that more amount of material is deposited on the semi-sintered electrode. See, the effect of current and pulse on time on metal transfer rate. The metal transfer rate decreases with increase in current and pulse on time. At lower settings, the metal transfer rate is higher, MTR is high. Further increase in current up to 4 amps, the material transfer rate decreases. This can be explained that the higher pulse on time and the current, the discharge energy is higher, which melts the more amount of material and evacuate the molten pool and evaporated during the EDC process. Hence, MTR is low. Conversely, metal erosion takes place. That is, a metal removal takes place. Then this graph shows the effect of compaction load current on surface roughness. At lower compaction load, see, instead of erosion, rapid erosion of electrode material, it's uncontrolled metal transfer on the surface. And there is which formed shallow craters. That is, at lower compaction load, more amount of material is eroded and deposited on the surface, and the uniform deposition takes place. That's why the surface roughness is less. But if we keep on increasing the compaction load, if higher the compaction load, there is no uniform distribution of deposition of the non-uniform deposition. There is no uniform deposition. That is a non-uniform deposition of material. So the surface roughness is higher. Similarly, at current, at a lower current, small amount of material is deposited. That is the thin coating we have to obtain. But in the case of higher current, large amount of material is melted and the gas generated, which is evacuated from the surface, which produce the cracks, shallow craters, and the globules are formed. The shallow craters at low compaction load and higher currents. So this is the shallow craters. The shallow craters are determined by the higher current, because I already told that the gas formed during the electrode discharge forming process is expelled from the molten pool. It generates the voids or shallow craters. This is the crater size and the crater number of craters are determined by the current. And the surface roughness. In the case of surface roughness, the effect of current and pulse on time on surface roughness, if both the current keep on increasing, current and the pulse on time, the surface roughness increases because more amount of material is melted and it is deposited on the surface. Whereas the lower current and lower pulse on time, the material is deposited, but whereas in the case of higher current and pulse on time, the erosion takes place because the cracking of dielectric, more repeated spark crack the dielectric, and high density globules are formed or accumulated on the surface and resultant in poor surface roughness. See, globules occur at higher current. This is a globules which occurs at a high current. That is, the globules are formed due to high current and more material is melted, and again it is redeposited on the recast layer, which is in the form of globules. So optimization has been carried out to find the maximum metal transfer rate and minimum surface roughness using RSM optimization technique. And the equal weightage is given for metal transfer rate and surface roughness. The 50% is given for metal transfer rate, 50% is given for surface roughness. See, after optimizing the process parameters, we have the red color indicate the optimized parameters, that is 150 compaction pressure, current 2.38 amps, and pulse on time of 90 microsecond. The maximum metal transfer, that is the blue color, indicate the metal transfer rate, that Y, that is 0.0203, and the surface roughness of 5.103. The validity experiment has been conducted using the optimized parameter, the compaction load of 150 megapascal and pulse on time of 90 and the current 2.3807 approximately is equal to 2 amps, because we could not set the 2.38 in the machine. It is not available in the machine. So we have to approximately take 2 amps. And the 0.203 and 5.104 are predicted from the RSM optimization. And the compaction, with the help of this compaction load, current and pulse on time, that is optimized value, again we have to conduct the experiment. Finally, we get the 0.0198 metal transfer rate and 5.237 surface roughness. And the percentage error was calculated for the metal transfer rate and the surface roughness. For metal transfer rate, the percentage error is 2.4, the surface roughness is 2.5, which is plus or minus 10%, which is comes under the plus or minus 10%, which is statistically significant, which confirms the good agreement between the experimental and the predicted value, and it shows that it is a good reproducibility. It has a reproducibility. The plus or minus 10, the error comes below the plus or minus 10. It shows that there is a good reproducibility of the experiment. So similarly, optimization for sintered electrode, 50% tungsten carbide, 50% copper sintered electrode was carried out. And finally, we have compaction load of 150, current of 3.437, pulse on time of 50 microsecond, and the maximum MTR of 0.0183 and a minimum surface roughness 5.2581. The goal is to maximize the metal transfer and minimum the surface roughness. The optimized parameters are 150 megapascal, 3.43, approximately it is 3 amps, because the 3.43 is not available in the machine. Then pulse on time of 50 microsecond. Again, we have to go for validity test. The 150 megapascal, current of 3 amps and the pulse on time of 50 microseconds. The actual value what we get again in the optimized parameter, that is the metal transfer rate is 0.0181, the surface roughness of 5.438, the percentage error is for metal transfer rate is 1.09 and the surface roughness is 3.6, which is below the plus or minus 10%. It is a good agreement between the predicted and actual value, and it confirms the reproducibility of the experiment. Finally, the optimized parameters, with the help of optimized parameters, again we have to code the magnesium alloy. 9 experiments, L9 orthogonal has been considered, and the wear parameters were selected, and then we have to code the material with the help of these pertinent parameters, optimized parameters. Finally, we have to check whether it enhances the wear resistance or not with the help of the wear test. So wear, what is wear? Wear is a process of removal of material from one or both solid surface in a solid state contact. If both rubbing or rolling action, the material is removed. When these two solid surfaces are in sliding or rolling motion together, the material is removed, which is called wear. Occurrence of wear depends on the geometry of the surface, applied load, loading and sliding velocities, environmental conditions, mechanical, thermal, chemical and metallurgical properties. So these are all the 5 properties. These 5, the wear is determined by these 5: geometry of the surface, applied load, rolling and sliding velocities, environmental conditions, mechanical, thermal, chemical and metallurgical properties. So wear mechanisms. Classification of wear mechanism and wear coefficient range. The wear dominated by mechanical behavior of material. Due to particularly mechanical behavior, wear mechanism are deformation and removal, wear caused by ploughing, delamination wear, adhesive wear, abrasive wear, fretting wear, wear by solid particle impingement. And wear dominated by chemical behavior, solution wear, oxidation wear, diffusion wear, wear by melting of the surface layer, adhesive wear at high temperatures. So this we have to classify it according to the mechanical behavior as well as the chemical behavior. Abrasive wear. Abrasive wear occurs when harder material is rubbing against a softer material. The onset of wear, that is the wear starts. The hard particles are pulled out from the surface due to the applied load or applied pressure. When the tangential force is imposed on the pin material or the softer surface is removed by combined effect of micro ploughing or micro cutting or micro cracking. As the result, the worn surface is generally characterized by grooves and scratches. You might have seen that figure. The two surface get slides one over the another. The asperities come out. The particles are come out from the surface due to the rolling motion as well as the contact pressure. So that you might have seen that during abrasive wear, the slide scratches are occurred or grooves are marked or ploughing marked are shown in the figure. Next, oxidation wear. Usually, metal surface normally covered by oxide layers, particularly magnesium, aluminums are covered by oxide layers, which could prevent the metal to metal contact, that avoiding the adhesion avoiding the formation of adhesion and reducing the tendency of adhesive wear. In this case, the oxide is favor for metal, reducing the wear in the metallic material. When the contact load or contact pressure is relatively higher, the metal beneath the oxide layer will plastically deformed and the asperities on the hard surface will penetrate to the thin oxide layer, leading to the normal metal to metal contact. In such a case, wear by adhesion will occur on the contacting material. The beneficial effect of oxide is minimal and wear rate is generally high. See, the figure shows the metal which is exposed to the atmosphere consists of oxide. So the tool material or the another contact surface comes over the surface of the metal or contact over the surface of the material. The oxide is removed and the metal is removed in the form of debris. Again it moves, again new oxides are formed, and again it contact with the surface. The oxide layers are removed and the materials are removed in the form of debris. Delamination wear. The wear process where the material lost from the surface by force of another surface acting in a sliding motion in the form of thin sheets. The material is removed in the form of flakes or thin sheets is called delamination wear. How it occurs? The plastic deformation of the subsurface cracks are nucleated below the surface. Due to the movement of the two mating parts, the crack is nucleated on the surface. The crack propagation from this nucleated surface joining with the neighboring one after separation from the surface and laminates form a wear debris. Delamination wear is occurred due to subsurface nucleation and propagation. Nucleation means the crack is formed and it is propagated. It is enlarged. The basic steps of delamination wear. Plastic deformation of the surface layer first occurs. Due to plastic deformation of the surface layer, the crack is nucleated on the subsurface, that is below the surface, the crack is nucleated. That crack is propagated and the creation of loose wear sheets of the large particle of greater than 1 micron thickness and the length of 10 to 100 microns. See, you might have seen that figure. First, the load, the pin is moved on the surface. First, the material is plastically deformed, and the figure B shows the material is plastically deformed and the crack is nucleated under the surface, and again the crack is propagated in C, and in D, figure D, it is removed in the form of flakes or thin sheets. This is called delamination wear. Wear mechanism web. Why do we go for wear mechanism web? It is a new kind of research, wear mechanism map. Here, from the wear mechanism map, we have to find which zone is the safest zone, which is a design engineer. You have to select which zone is the safest zone to design a material. So it is in a graphical representation to study the effect of sliding parameters on wear rate. It is the best description of tribological condition. It shows and it is useful for design engineers for selecting the materials in wide range of operating conditions. The development of wear maps is a useful way to study and predict the wear behavior of material against different sliding parameters. The wear mechanism map is to identify the dominant wear mechanism for particular operating condition. The wear map is constructed using taking a sliding speed on x-axis, normal load on y-axis, and wear rate on z-axis, because normal load and sliding speed are the most significant parameter of wear parameters than the other parameters. So in this study, you have to use 50-50% semi-sintered and 50-50% of sintered material coated on the ZE41, a magnesium alloy, electrodischarge coated magnesium alloy is the wear mechanism map for these two materials were developed. Wear mechanism for tungsten carbide 50% and copper 50% semi-sintered electrode. See, in the mild wear region, that is the sliding speed of 100 to 200, the normal load of 1.5 to 2.4. In between this, in this region is called mild wear region, where the abrasion and oxidation takes place. See, first the material is get contacted and the normal load is applied at 1.5 up to 2.4, and the sliding speed is increased from 100 to 200. The abrasion takes place. That is, the asperities, the coated particles are just pulled out slightly, and then that scratches are developed. After that, the oxide layers which is formed on the surface is removed, so that the oxidation is occurs. If the sliding speed goes after 200 RPM and 2.4, the delamination takes place. That is, if sliding speed is increased and normal load is also goes beyond 2.4, that is the increase in normal load, the coated particles get delaminated from the surface, so that severe wear occurs. That is, in the zone is called severe wear zone. And ultra severe wear zone, further increase in the sliding speed and normal load, the material is get contacted, the tool and the pin and disc material contact is more, and the friction between this pin and this disc is also higher. Due to higher friction, the temperature is increased and melting of the material takes place. Finally, the seizure occurs. So the mild wear region is the safest region for the design engineers. So those who want to select a 50% copper semi-sintered electrode, the safest sliding speed is 100 to 200 and the safest normal load is 1.5 to 2.4. That is the safest load, and the sliding speed is the 200 up to 200 is the safest sliding speed to design a component for 50% copper, 50% tungsten carbide, semi-sintered electrode. Then wear mechanism map for 50% tungsten carbide and 50% copper sintered electrode. The mild region where the mild wear region is up to 160 and the normal load is up to 2.4. So the abrasion and oxidation takes place in the mild wear region, as already we seen in the semi-sintered electrode. The abrasion is nothing but the scratches. The oxidation is the removal of oxidation layer and removal of material takes place. So this is the mild wear region, which is the safest zone. So if the design engineer wants to design a component of 50% copper, 50% tungsten carbide sintered electrode, the safest sliding speed is 160, 100 to 160, and the normal load is 1.5 to 2.4. The severe wear region, if you increase the sliding speed beyond 160, the delamination takes place. Because the earlier case, you might have seen that up to 200 is the safest. But whereas in this case, it is a delamination occur at 160, because the semi-sintered more amount of material is deposited, but whereas in the case of sintered, the layer is very thin. So the delamination takes place earlier, and ultra severe wear takes place at about 250 degree, 250 RPM, and the normal load of 3.5. So the melting takes place in this sliding speed and higher sliding speed and higher normal load. Finally, the seizure takes place because of the friction between the disc and the pin material. So more amount of energy is generated, that is the more amount of temperature is generated in between the disc and the pin. The seizure takes place, and also the melting of the metal takes place. Finally, the seizure occurs. The conclusion from the coating of ZT41A magnesium alloy, the metal transfer is high at low compaction load due to low bonding of powder metallurgy electrode. More amount of metal is deposited from the electrode. And in the case of higher compaction load and higher current and higher pulse on time, the erosion takes place instead of transfer. That is, the metal removal takes place. Similarly, the surface roughness increases with increase in current, pulse on time, and low compaction load. Optimization was carried out using RSM, and it was found that predicted coating performance, that is what we obtained in the optimized value, compared with the actual coating performance, and a good agreement was obtained, because plus or minus 10, which is statistically significant. And the tungsten carbide 50%, copper 50%, semi-sintered electrode is better for EDC, because semi-sintered electrode dislodge more amount of material, and the coat is a thick coating than the sintered coating, the sintered electrode. Conclusion from the wear behavior. Wear mechanism map was developed to identify the various regimes called mild wear, severe wear, and ultra severe wear, and we have to identify which region is the safest region, which load and which sliding speed is a safest sliding speed. And the surface morphology of one surface evaluated using SEM, and the influence of wear mechanism of abrasion, oxidation, delamination, and melting were identified and summarized in the wear mechanism map. Coating with 50% tungsten carbide, 50% copper semi-sintered electrode is better for wear behavior, better for wear resistance compared to increase the wear resistance compared to sintered electrode. Thank you very much.